podcast. And now my music is still not playing. So we're just going to go dun 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 dun. All right. I have no idea what has been wrong with the music on StreamYard, but happy Wednesday. I am so glad that I am back. I have had such a great time the past 2 weeks having special guests on, but now you're back to just me. So I hope that that's cool. And I missed you guys last week. I was actually away celebrating my friend's birthday in New Orleans, and that was so much fun. I had a complete blast. But I'm very happy to be back here tonight with you guys. I'm just going to scooch over here to my Facebook real quick so that I can share this onto my Sydnee author page. So let me do that real quick. Okay, it's not going to let me do that either. You know what? Technology can kiss my ass. I am over it tonight. Let's see who we have in here. Oh, Kyler, I missed you too. Lizzie is here. Happy birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Lizzie. It's her birthday. And Dustin's here. Awesome. And like I said, Kyler is here too, saying hey to all the beautiful people out there. I am so glad you guys are back. Yeah, like I said, I don't understand what is wrong with my StreamYard, why I can't use the stuff. But anyway, let's see if the photos are working because like I said, I had a really good time last week being in New Orleans. I was only there Wednesday through Friday night. So quick, as far as like that city is concerned, it was a quick trip. But here's on the plane, as you can see, me with my guerrilla marketing skills, I'm actually wearing earrings that are my book. That's one of those things like the newsfeed ads that actually was like a good buy. They actually look exactly like my book, only teeny tiny, which if you haven't yet, you can pick up a copy of Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Go-Go at learnedingogo.com. So please pick up your copy if you haven't yet. But yeah, like I said, I was absolutely guerrilla marketing with my earrings. I like to take my business cards and leave them in little places all over to be found. Gave them to the flight attendants. So hopefully, crossing fingers that I get a few more people that are able to read the book and that it can help. That's really what I'm hoping for. So this was another fun picture. In our hotel, there was a bird cage. So of course, you can't not sit in the bird cage if it's there. It's just like, why else would it be there, right? And let's see here. What do we have? Why? See, now I can't see comments. I'm getting really irritated with this platform tonight. Oh, okay, here we go. Thank you. Kyler says he'll share. Also, I appreciate that because for some reason, and this is a different computer than I usually use too, so maybe it's just not awake after 2 weeks. Mortimer Deadfellow is here. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for hopping on. I love the name here that you're picking. Yes, Luna Projects is here too. Happy to see you. And yes, thank you, Dustin. I love the earrings. They're just it's just a nice, like, subtle way to start a conversation with somebody because they'll say, oh, what book is on your earrings? And I'll go, as a matter of fact, I wrote it. So it's a neat way to open conversations. So that's cool. Oh, Kyler says, miss all of you. It feels like forever. The haunt was busy. Yes. So you had a very, very busy spooky season working at a haunt. And I hope that you had a blast and that it was a whole lot of fun and profitable for you. Dustin says, there's a big bird on the loose. It might have been a turkey man. I don't know if he'd have a cage. Luna is saying hello to Mortimer. So that is awesome. Oh, thanks, Lizzie. Lizzie says, so good to have you back. So good to be back. I miss chatting with you guys. I had so much fun celebrating Johnny, and thank you for everybody that hopped on with that. And I have to give a huge thank you again to Dustin for last week's show. I had so much fun recording that episode. And that was when my theme song originally stopped working. So I don't know what the heck's going on. Uh, let's see. Everybody's saying hi to each other in the comments. You guys are so cute. I love, love, love that we are all family and that we look forward to hanging out together because this is so fun. I love these chats that we have. Dustin says, no cage can hold Turkey Man too. That's why the cage was empty, right? I couldn't have stuck my big butt in there if Turkey Man was in there too. There wasn't enough room for both of us. So let's see. I uploaded a bunch of photos and now the thumbnails are really tiny. So let's see what I uploaded the other day because it was a really fun trip. So just a quick little background. One of my besties just turned 50 and she and another bestie of mine and I have said since elementary school that we share a brain. So she was the first third of the brain to turn 50. I get to be the baby brain because I'm not until March and then our other friend is February. So I get to have the youngest part of the brain until then. But it was me, her husband, and then 3 other friends that are hilarious. We had a really good time. And the first night, it was just me and my bestie and her husband, and we did a true crime walking tour that was really fun. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the Axeman of New Orleans, but we went to like where that happened and heard the background story, which is actually completely different from the story that I heard about it. I heard it might have been like a mafia thing, and apparently it may have its ties to jazz music. So if you're unfamiliar with the story, I suggest you check it out because if that's the case, that is wild. If that spawned this like murder spree. There was also a really sad story more recently from 2006 of a murder suicide. We went to that site. And then there was also the room where the tour started had to do with Dr. Mesmer, who I never put together mesmerizing, hypnotizing, like being the same thing around that time, which I believe was the turn of the century, the 1900s. I forget. We've had another century turn since then. But that was really cool, mostly because our tour guide, Drew, was hilarious. And we took the tour with 2 women who had a service dog with them who was this big, goofy pit bull named Lupin. And I was just like smitten with the dog. So that made it even more fun. So our first picture is when we were waiting outside for the tour to start. We were on, I forget what street it was on, but there was this sedan across the street and a guy on a bike, like just a bicycle, not a motorcycle, comes flying by and does this. Just takes the front of the freaking car off. And I couldn't get my phone out fast enough to get a picture of the guy on the bike, but I was just like, what the hell? Like, how do you do that on a bike? That was hysterical. Okay, back to the bird cage. Now we've got Big Pecker from Killer Coxes on the loose because Kyler said maybe it's a giant chicken. So, did you see the size of that chicken? Oh, awesome. Dustin says, always happy to come back. I would love to have you come back anytime because that was a whole lot of fun. And it would be fun to do a live show too, as much as like the recording was fun. And then having that to post last week so I didn't skip a week with you guys was awesome. Definitely like a live would be a lot of fun. Uh-oh, Trouble's here. Hey, sissy. My sister's on with her friends, so that's going to be wild. I can just imagine the comments that are going to be coming from there. I'm really glad you hopped on, Garland. I love you. But yeah, Skull says I would be pissed. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one about the car. I would be, if it was my car, absolutely pissed. And to not even like stop. And I kept looking for the people to come out so I could like give them a description, but I have no idea whose car it was. Like nobody came out of the bars or anything. So I have no idea. And Luna is saying hi to Carlin. So that's awesome. But yeah, like that was just totally cuckoo. So yeah, we did the walking tour for True Crime the first night. And then when we were walking back to the hotel, I saw this place, the Museum of Death, which was actually closed at that point. It doesn't look like I posted a picture. I took a picture of their sign. You know, usually it'll say, sorry, we're closed. There says, sorry, we're dead. So that kind of cracked me up. But I was intrigued by the Museum of Death. We had a really good time walking around and everything. And then the second day, you know, we got up and we had to have breakfast. So when in Nolans, I guess if I want to say it the way that they do, I had an alligator omelet and biscuits and gravy. Let me tell you, I love the movie The Princess and the Frog. And I just apologized to Louis the whole time I was eating that because I love him. But it was really good. They have a lot of really good food there. And like I got fried green tomatoes. They were really yummy. I don't think I've ever had them before. I'm trying to think what else we got that was more like regional because we had like hush puppies that were really good. But pretty much all of the food that I had was excellent. It was really good stuff. I'm not quite sure what this could be, so I'm going to click on it. Oh, this was some random dude on the balcony with beads trying to see boobies. So that was pretty funny. I'm like, all right, dude, you do you and see how many boobies you can see, you know. So let's see. Luna says, never tried fried green tomatoes, but seen the movie. I have yet to see the movie, and I love Kathy Bates, so I want to see it. Like, I know the whole line about, you know, we're younger and we're faster, and then she crashes into him, and she's like, I'm older and I have better insurance. Like, I've seen that ad, but I've never seen the movie. Aaliyah's here. Oh, it wasn't even Mardi Gras. That is true, Luna, but he wanted to see boobies. Hi, Aaliyah. Thanks for hopping on, sweetie. And you know what? I guarantee you that at some point, somebody was flashing him to get those beads. So good on him. I got beads. They're over there on my light, but that was because there was a parade and they were throwing them. So I kind of cheated getting my beads, but I got them. So that was really fun. And then the second day we did a vampire tour. That was really cool. I feel like did I put pictures from the vampire tour? I am old and I cannot see these thumbnails. No, maybe I didn't get around to it. But the one thing that was really cool about the vampire tour, because the tour guide was really cool. Her name was Rose and she was awesome. But she kept talking about, I think it was a TV show called The Originals. I didn't know the show. And then like she made a couple Twilight references, which I've never seen Twilight. But there was a convent. Okay, it's like a 3-story tall building. Because one thing about New Orleans is it's very, very Catholic, like from when it was founded. And it was this big convent. And on the 3rd story, because they were bringing all of these women in to be nuns, you know, like all these girls. And a lot of them didn't make it across the ocean. So they were bringing these boxes that were roughly human-sized up into the 3rd floor of the convent. But the thing was, they didn't let anybody up there. Like no one was allowed to go on this floor. And on the 3rd floor windows are all these dormers that are sealed shut and blessed by the Vatican. So when Katrina happened, one of the windows blew open. And while there's people drowning and the city's underwater and completely being devastated, they flew someone in from the Vatican to reseal the dormer and bless it again. So what do you think is going on up in that room? That they're that scared that in the middle of a natural disaster crisis, they're worried about bringing in somebody from the Vatican to bless it again. I want to see what's going up in that room. Luna says, didn't Anne Rice live in New Orleans? Yep, born and raised, and actually is buried in the cemetery that is like the most famous people. It has like humongous mausoleums and, you know, like that's the big money cemetery is where she is. Let's see. The Originals is a vampire TV series. That's what I thought. And the buildings were really cool. I just didn't get the references because I've never seen the TV show. But like you said, New Orleans is a magical city. It's really, really cool. Let's see. Dustin says, show sounds familiar, but not sure. New Orleans has amazing food. Dying to do the Tabasco tour. That sounds awesome. I did not do a Tabasco tour. Next time I shall. So we did the vampire tour, the true crime tour, and then Friday morning we did a cemetery tour. Now this to me was the most interesting because this was my third time in New Orleans. And I was there in 2000, and then I was there again in 2017. So I was there pre-Katrina and then post-Katrina. And there's definitely a difference in the city. But if you guys know me, you know I'm an empath. So the amount of energy that is in this city between they have a tremendous homeless problem, and it's just heartbreaking. And the fact that they literally live with their dead, like the majority of land is mausoleums and, like buried people. So it's a very interesting energy there. And it took me a couple days to kind of sage myself, when I got home, because it's just so, and it's not necessarily bad. Like there's definitely some sorrow, but there's also celebration, and it's just a very interesting mix. So we went to do the cemetery tour, and lo and behold, Drew was our tour guide again from the true crime tour. He got to be our cemetery guide too. Now the cool thing about Drew and Rose too, I want to give them both a shout out. They both work out for the haunted history tours. But Drew has a history of working for like historical societies in Louisiana, and has a lot of knowledge that a lot of the tour guides don't. So if you're going to do the tours, ask for him, because you get some like little insider information too. So I know I have pictures from the cemetery tour. So the first place that we went was called Holt's Cemetery. I love this tree. I wish I could zoom in on it. That's like Spanish moss hanging from it, but it just gave it like a really cool vibe in the cemetery to have the Spanish moss hanging down. Now, the thing with Holt Cemetery, we went there first because Drew told us it's been filled 3 times so far, that area of cemetery. And for $500, they'll dig a hole for you. For $50, they'll give you a shovel and you can build your own hole. So this is where a lot of the people that are poor but claimed wind up, because there is a potter's field for the unidentified dead. Holtz is if you have a loved one that passed away, but you can't afford a more expensive farewell. So the cool thing about Holtz is a lot of it is homemade. So like this, somebody took the time to create this beautiful portrait of their loved one on top of the stone. And I believe it's from 2018, and it's just really pretty. And that was like the awesome thing about this cemetery, was you could feel the love energy. Like there were wooden, like tombstones made out of wood, or this one I'm intrigued. I was walking by. It's kind of hard to tell on this platform, but it looks like styrofoam peanuts. And it can't be styrofoam peanuts because they would blow away. But maybe Mortimer can tell us, because he does awesome special effects. Like, is there something that would look like this that they could seal so that it wouldn't fly away? But then, of course, me being me, I went to the Lost Boys and I'm like, they're maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. How do they taste? But I'm sure that's not what they're supposed to be. But it was like really interesting. I don't think I got to upload the photo of it. Shit. Like I said, this cemetery has been filled 3 times. So what does that mean? That means that when you have your shovel and you're digging a hole for your loved one, odds are you're going to meet a couple other loved ones on the way. So there was one mound of a grave that was fairly new. And in the dirt, you could see coffin liner and you could see bones of people that were buried there first. So it's kind of like crazy that it's like, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, going to my eternal rest. Hey, neighbors, like that's a little nutty, but that's how they do it because they don't have the space to go further out. And there's just so many people that die there all the time. Okay, Mortimer says looks almost like fake coral. That could be. And Luna says spray insulation, maybe. That would be cool too. Like as a keep you in there nice and toasty kind of vibe there. I don't know if I have. Dang it. I really thought that I had uploaded more photos than this because there was the oldest crematorium in America is in Holt Cemetery. It's no longer in use and it almost looks like a brick pizza oven. So you're walking around the cemetery and then in the back there's this big brick building. And that was, where they used to use for the crematorium. And next to it is a grave with a mailbox. And we asked Drew, we're like, what's with the mailbox? And he said, well, the thing is people just use what they have, to represent their loved ones. So if that's all that they had, then that's what they're going to use to put there. So I was like, well, that's interesting. But there was all kinds of like just little memorabilia. There was a little stuffed ghost on one that was just so cute. And like I said, you could tell that these people love their loved ones that are buried there and they go and they take care of them. And another funny story was that Drew was saying he had brought his mom there once and he said, Mom's spiritual. I'm morbid, but she's spiritual and she's a good Catholic. So they were walking around the cemetery and there was a funeral going on in the back corner. And his mom's like, well, why are they wearing white? It's a funeral. And he's like, well, sometimes they wear the robes and everything. And, and she's like, I don't think that's right. And he's like, well, that's voodoo priestesses. So you're not going to like what they do with the chicken. Let's go. And like took her out of the cemetery. But there's all kinds of people in New Orleans. And it's a really exciting mix of different cultures that have all come together and are existing together. So I think that's another reason why it's a really cool mix because, when we were talking about the true crime stuff and everything, he kept telling us, this is a town of immigrants. It's always been immigrants. And a lot of the architecture, a lot of the history is Spanish. And then there's the Creole and there's, it's a whole bunch of different cultures together and it's really cool. So yeah, Dustin says I'll have to plan another longer trip and I would love to go back for a longer trip if I can handle the energy because it is like I need to work in some like downtime. But the other interesting thing about doing Holt's first, because like I said, I'll show you guys again, you can see in the background there's a lot of really old stones and homemade stones and stuff like that. So then when we went to the next cemetery, it almost looks sanitary in comparison. Because Holt's was a whole lot of like literally daisies. They have people pushing up daisies, overgrowing all of the stones. And these are more well-kept cemeteries. So yeah, Bullwinkle. So it was like an interesting, like difference between the two. This is Drew, our tour guide, and what he's looking at, I can't point at the picture, but what he's looking down at is a voodoo doll that was sitting there that somebody fucked up. So they got a little curse on them there. And he was just pointing that out to us. And then this one, I thought was really interesting. It's hard again because I can't zoom in. I don't think. No, that says new layout. But if you could read the right It's like straight across from my finger there. It says Leeds. And we asked Drew if he was familiar with the Leeds family. And he said, only the cryptid from New Jersey, the devil. And I'm like, that's right, Jersey Devil. And I want to know if there's a connection between the Leeds buried in New Orleans and the family that spawned the Jersey Devil. Johnny, hi. He says, my live videos don't play unless I'm home. Just dropping a comment to say hi. Hi, Sophie. So glad you did. But yeah, there's those cemeteries. I'm pretty sure that was, yeah, that's Bullwinkle. And this is, yep, okay. So I'll be posting probably more on my page of the different cemeteries. One was a Masonic cemetery. We were in a Catholic cemetery. And like a lot of them, you know, have names, because it's so hot there. And I know my friends from Texas probably have the same kind of weather, but between the heat and the humidity, when they put somebody in a mausoleum, you have to wait a year and a day to open it. And when you do, they're pretty much done, you know, because it gets 300-400 degrees in there, and they just, you know, they're like homemade crematoriums. And then they kind of push you into, it's the French word for cave, I think. Caveau? Cool. Should have written it down. Basically, you go into the bottom, and then they put somebody else in there if they have somebody. And if somebody dies before the year and the day is up, they actually have like little wall tombs. So you go hang out there for a year and a day, and then you get to move into your permanent place. But if your family buys a mausoleum and decides they don't want it anymore, or if everybody dies off and they can't pay for it anymore, they will actually sell it. So you can see some of those with like for sale by owner signs on them, which is crazy. But what they do is they take your nameplate of your family and they put it on the side, and then they put the new occupants on the front. So it's been going on for centuries. They obviously know what they're doing. But to me, it's just fascinating, like how many people there are in like those areas, how many people have gone through. And then I mentioned too, there's the Potter's Field, and that's where the Katrina Memorial is. And that's been filled 5 times and counting, he said. And that's all the unidentified dead, you know, the people that their families couldn't afford to bury them, stuff like that. So that's sad. But like there was like the Katrina Memorial was really powerful. And then they do take really good care of it. So at least if you're buried with several thousand other people, they're mowing on top of you. So, you know, it was an interesting tour. I definitely want to go back and do it again. Oh, the funniest part. And I meant to upload that picture. So we're in the one cemetery. I forget which one it was. And there's a section called Oddfellows Rest. Now, Oddfellows Rest has been closed to the public for 50 years. And there used to be a giant fence, so you couldn't get there. Now, to me, Oddfellows made me smile because that was the name of the cemetery in the town where I grew up. So I used to spend time in Oddfellows Cemetery in Burlington, New Jersey all the time. So hearing Oddfellows at, you know, the cemetery there, of course, made my ears perk up. And Drew's telling us that, you know, it's been off limits to the public, like I said, for 50 years, but that he learned the night before that the fence came down. So he's like, technically, I'm not supposed to take anybody back there. You know, like technically, nobody in the public is allowed in this area. He's like, let's see what happens. So we all went back in there. We were checking it out. It was really cool until we got caught and got kicked out. But we got kicked out by this man that was very, very condescending to Drew, by the way. And he goes and he opens the gate and like ushers out. But the thing was, the gate was actually closer to where we needed to be. So he saved us a trip of walking around the whole cemetery to go back out again. So we're like, thanks, dude. But it was really cool getting to see a part that we weren't supposed to see, even if we got caught. Yeah, Dustin says, nothing like a jerk to ruin the fun. Exactly. Like, and we were being very respectful. We were staying on the path, like I must say that about our tour group. Everybody was very respectful because sometimes people aren't. And like, it's very frustrating when you're trying to learn and have an experience and then people are being disrespectful. So I was very glad that everybody that we were with was, doing the right thing. Um, Yeah, Lizzie says forbidden seeing. So lucky. And I swear it was because it was Oddfellows, because me and my bestie, that's, the cemetery that we knew from growing up. So it was kind of like, little sign there. But yeah, aside from that, we went out dancing. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I posted about this man that was in the bar. And like, he was so funny. He had like this baseball cap on sideways, older guy. And he was just having a good time, like completely harmless. So I was like, come on, come dance with us, and like it was him and like this girl that was with him, like I just was dragging everybody out on the dance floor because that's what I do. So we were dancing to Footloose. I had to think about it. And then that song ends and Time of My Life from Dirty Dancing comes on. And so we're all dancing and it gets to the part where in the movie they do like the lift. And I'm across the dance floor and I lock eyes with him. I'm like, you ready? And he's like, what? I said, you got to catch me. You ready? And he's like, no. And I ran at him full force. And right before I got to him, I was like, I'm just kidding. And his friend was like, that was so good. You got him so good. Cause he looked panic. Like his eyes were like this big. Like he thought I was really going to make him pick me up. I was like, no, dude, I'm just messing with you. But that was really fun. We had a really good time. Walked for miles. So that was good. But yeah, tell me in the comments, like, what is your favorite place that you've ever gone, like on vacation or like gone to do a tour or learn about? Because like, how many of you guys have been to New Orleans? Like, is that a place that you've been to that you want to go to, have no interest in going to? Let me know in the comments because I can't believe I just rattled on for a half an hour about it, but it was so fun. And it was like the flights were good. So grateful about that because sometimes that can ruin a trip. But yeah, it was a really good time. And I'm really grateful for my friends inviting me and, having so much fun with them because they're awesome. So I don't know. I guess the next trip that I will be taking will be to Chicago. If you guys have seen my posts about the Red Huntress series, I'm going to be going out to film that first weekend in December. So if you happen to know any philanthropists that like indie film and would like to sponsor me, please send them the information. It is on my page and it is also dun, 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 in my link tree. So if you go to linktree/Sydnee A, there is the link to get to the crowdfunding page on Indiegogo.com for the Red Huntress series. I would really appreciate if you guys could get a perk, even if it's not sponsoring me, because I know $100 is a lot, especially during this time of year, but go in with it on a friend, go in with a friend, split it up. Yeah, Dustin says, I've been there a few times, but short visits for bachelor party and conference. Need a much longer time and make my own schedule. Yes, absolutely. The first time I went was with my ex. We were going to Houston to visit my big brother, and we went like the long way so we could hit NOLA and go. And then in 2017, it was for a work thing. So I didn't get to do all the tours and stuff. But it's definitely a place where you can spend a lot of time. Your liver might wind up with a pulse by the time you go, but but there's a lot to do. There's a lot to eat and there's a lot to see. So if you haven't been, there really is nowhere else like it on earth. So check it out, please. Congrats on Red Huntress. Thank you. I'm so excited. This is like completely new for me and I'm just ready to dive in and learn and enjoy it. Lizzie says the Red Huntress premiere was so fun. I wish we lived a bit closer to filming. Yes, definitely. I wish I did too. But that's why I'm like, please sponsor me so that I can afford to travel out to do this. But it's going to be fun. I loved the first episode and I'm excited. I just love the vibe of the show and it's going to be fun. Like my character sounds sassy. So I'm excited to play her. It's going to be a good time. And of course, my buddy Reaper is in it as well. So definitely, if you have not seen the first episode, it's on YouTube. So you can check it out and see what I'm talking about when I say the Red Huntress. But that would be fantastic. Like I said, please go to the Indiegogo page because I think there's even like $5 perks. There's like all different price ranges because as you guys know, being the Indiegogo folks that you are, not Indiegogo, indie film folks that you guys are, you know how it works. So any kind of support is definitely appreciated. Yeah, so I had like all these thoughts about what I was going to talk about tonight. And then I got back here and my train crashed. So I got back like 1 a.m. Saturday and I was just a useless blob of goo pretty much for the rest of that day. Which I'm not good with. I'm not good at relaxing. Like I have such a busy brain that if I'm not working, creating, thinking about what I'm going to do next. How do you guys shut down your brains? Like, do you meditate? Like, are you good at meditation? Is it like just get lost in a TV show? What kind of thing do you do to relax? Like, what is your favorite way to relax? Teach me because I suck at it. Dustin says, I purchased the vampire kit. I can't wait to get it and happy to support Red Huntress. Great cast and team. Thank you so much for getting that. That is awesome. Yeah, they have all kinds of really fun perks. Mine comes with, I know you get a t-shirt and you get a Polaroid picture of little me. Let me see. I'm going to go to the page right now and see what else comes with. Let's see, I got to slide it because it's on my computer. So get this perk. You get a thank you. You get a t-shirt, a poster, a Polaroid picture, digital download of episode 2, and a screen used personal item. So that's pretty cool. That is really cool. A screen used personal item. I wonder what it's going to be. That's exciting. I thought, oh, damn it. Why did Facebook kick you off? I'm sorry, Luna Projects. You weren't even cussing. It's not like that Saturday program I'm on where everybody gets kicked off for for what we're talking about. Lizzie says, busy or monkey brains often benefit from guided meditations. The trick is to work with the monkey, not against it. Yes. Yes. I've tried guided meditations. I just am thinking of everything else under the sun except what I'm supposed to be listening to. So I really need to hone that in and figure out how to pay attention. That's so funny. Dustin said no bonus of a signed copy of your book for supporting you. What's funny is I wanted to talk to the creator about that, but I didn't know if he wanted to cross the streams. But I was going to bring that up and offer that as like my own little incentive. I did sell one already. So thank you to the person that sponsored me already. But I did actually have that thought. So I think it's funny that you brought that up too, because I was going to talk to the creator about maybe offering that as well. Oh, Aaliyah says, so sorry I have to go, but I will share with you later on mindful training. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you. Have a great rest of your night. And thank you for hopping on. Always good to see you guys. So yeah, like I've been trying to give myself a little bit of downtime. I like to journal, but I haven't been doing it lately. And I'm kind of wondering if that's why things are a little loopy in my brain. I used to do my planner and my journal every morning. And now it's like weeks go by and I'm like, shit, I didn't do it. And I kind of wonder if I need that time to organize my brain. And without it, it's just like, loony city in there because nothing's holding it down and keeping it on track. But I've been having a hard time getting up early. So it's like a multi-tiered issue going on here. But I think I'm going to try again. How many times have you guys heard me say this, right? Like every week. Yeah, Sid's going to get up early again this week. I say it every week. But my mission is I've recently started becoming more active on TikTok. I'm almost 50 years old. I have no freaking clue what I'm doing on TikTok. So I have recruited my little sister to help me. We haven't been able to have a TikTok date yet, but she agreed to help her poor sad older sister figure out the ways of TikTok. But like today, I did a kind of like morning routine, like thing. It took so long to take these little clips and edit them together and then come up with the song. And that, dear Lord. And I'm, like if you guys are on some of my other platforms, I post my workouts every day and I stitch together videos and I do them every day. So I'm pretty good at doing the stitching together, adding music part. But trying to figure out what to video and how to video it myself, trying to get the angles that I want, it's a process. So I think that might be the motivation I need to get up earlier, because now that I'm doing this TikTok journey, I'm going to need more time in my day to create content. So if you guys have any favorite TikTok videos that are trending that might, get me some followers, please guide me in the right direction, because I'm so lost. I'm so lost on TikTok. Lizzie says, LMAO, my little sister used to keep me hip and now she's old too. So we're both just hopeless. I guess I'm lucky that my little sister's 26 years younger than me. So even when she's old, I'm going to be dead. So she's always going to be my young, hip little sister, because there's a big old age gap there. Luna says, I don't know much about TikTok. I'm on it, but don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I always put my positive affirmations on there that I have on my Sydnee page as well, and on my Learned and Go Instagram. But as far as like TikTok dances, stop it. Stop it. Like, unless I can't dance. I can do like the two-step John, like that. No one wants to see that. So I just keep pimping out my dogs because they're cute. Makes me miss Stan even more. I miss my guinea pig. He was so cute. And he was so fun to watch. So R.I.P. Stan. But yeah, it's like crazy juggling. We got Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. I have a Snapchat. I don't do anything with it. Now I'm on Blue Sky. Are you guys on that? There was another one that came out that was like a competition for Twitter. I'm on that too. I don't even remember the name of it. I don't even know what it is to sign into it. It was a one word. I can't even remember what it was. No idea. Luna's asking, what is that? So Blue Sky is a competitor to Twitter, since people are mass leaving Twitter. I'm sorry, X, whatever the hell it is now. So it's another platform that's kind of like that. Oh, and I'm on Substack for my book, because that's like authors. And I have a job. So it's just like, when am I supposed to do all the things? I don't think I can do all the things. I have to go pick a couple and concentrate on that, because it's out of control. Like Facebook has always been my number one, because they're, like Instagram's pictures, Twitter's words, Facebook's both. And I like posting pictures and I like talking. So this is my happy social media. And then probably Instagram, I'm on the next most. but it's just like crazy trying to get your projects out there and get people to follow. And that's why I appreciate you guys so much, because you're always sharing my stuff and you're always liking and commenting. And I can't tell you how much I love you and I appreciate you for doing that, because that makes all the difference in the world. And thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you for doing that. And I try to share your stuff too. If you're ever posting something and I don't share it, I probably just didn't see it in my news feed. So don't be afraid to like send me a message and be like, could you shout this out for me? Because I will in a heartbeat. Just let me know it's there so I can do that for you. So, all right, let's see here. We have a little bit of time left. How about if we do a quickie? What the fuck is that? We'll just do a quickie of Smash or Trash, because we haven't played that in a couple weeks. And if you remember the first time that we did Smash or Trash, I got flagged for playing the music. So I'm just going to tell you what the song is, because I don't want to get myself in trouble for playing it again. All right, first one to comment gets to pick. Should we do my liked songs, or do you want to do the Learned and Go-Go playlist? So I'll see who answers first, and then we'll go with that for our shuffle. And if you are new to Smash or Trash, when I tell you the song, you tell me smash if you like it or trash if you don't like it. And we'll see what everybody's musical taste is. All right, Lizzie came in first with Go-Go, and it is her birthday, so we are going to go with Go-Go. I love that you and Luna both came in at 9:46, but you squeaked in ahead, and happy birthday. So I'm going to go to, let's see, my library, Learning, Go-Go, and shuffle. All right, that was Hysteria by Def Leppard. So if you like it, smash it. If you don't like it, trash it. I miss the age of ballads. Lizzie gave it a woot with a heart. They don't make ballads anymore like they did when I was growing up. And I know you guys are, a little younger than me, but the same, what do they slow dance at school dances anymore? And if so, what do they dance to? They don't make ballads anymore. So we have a smash from Luna Projects, and a smash from Lizzie, and a smash from Mortimer. Awesome. Bunch of Def Leppard fans. I dig it. All right, so let's see what's up next. We've got, that would be Cherry Pie by Warrant. Smash or trash? I love hair bands, if you haven't noticed. So there's probably going to be a lot of hair bands in here. But yeah, like even Warrant Heaven, or like Sometimes She Cries, or I Saw Red, or Blind Faith, or, there were so many ballads. And then there are faster songs like Cherry Pie, love too. Waiting for the votes on the Cherry Pie. All right, we got a smash from Luna Projects. All right. I loved Warrant. Janie's been gone for a lot of years, which is crazy. Oh no, Lizzie trashed it. She doesn't like Cherry Pie. Mortimer says, I worked hard to teach Lizzie about Def Leppard. Def Leppard is awesome. They're definitely up there. All right, so let's see what our next one is. We've got Linkin Park, Paper Cut. All right, I don't want to get in trouble. Linkin Park is another one of my favorite bands, and I miss Chester so much. Like, he just had an incredible voice, and definitely gone too soon, which sucks. All right, we got a smash from Dustin in all capital letters, and he says, love Linkin Park. Me too. I saw them live at least twice. I want to say 3 times. We had bought tickets to the concert that he was going to be playing here, and the concert was scheduled a couple weeks after he passed away. So, obviously it didn't happen. But yeah, like that was just, it's very sad. Lizzie says, I don't think I know that one, and Mortimer left the room, so I can't ask him. That's okay. Just remember Paper Cut and, like listen to it later. I like that song. You probably know it, you just don't know the title, which is what stinks about not being able to play the song. But let's see. Dustin says, saw Linkin Park live at Madison Square Garden. Awesome. Luna, you don't know this one either? Really? I think you did. I can't sing it, but it's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like you know it. Okay. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. Is Crying by Aerosmith. It's picking a lot of like the same time frame songs here. But Crying by Aerosmith reminds me of college. That video was on MTV all the time. Back when Alicia Silverstone was doing all of the Aerosmith videos with Liv Tyler. That was that whole time frame there. But I like that Aerosmith album. It's a decent album. It just reminds me of that time. So that makes me happy. And again, Steven Tyler can't tour anymore. Like we're coming to the end of an era as far as live music that at least that I grew up with. But major announcement just happened, I believe yesterday, that My Chemical Romance is touring again. And I'm so fucking excited. Hopefully the tickets are not a gazillion dollars and my daughter and I can go. But I'll find that out Friday. Lizzie is giving Aerosmith a smash. Awesome. Very cool. And when My Chemical Romance comes to Philly, it will be with Alice Cooper. So I'm excited because I've never seen Alice Cooper live and I would love to before he's no longer touring. All right, Luna Projects is giving it a smash as well. Awesome. I love Aerosmith. All eras of Aerosmith. I love their older stuff, and I liked when they had the resurgence in the 80s and the early 90s. I like that stuff too. All right, let's do one more song on here. That would be Fall Out Boy, Sugar We're Going Down. It's going to get me in trouble. It won't stop playing. Turn the volume down. It wouldn't stop playing. I'm telling you, my electronics, like I'm hitting pause. It's not, it won't pause. Oh, cool. Lizzie says, Mortimer is currently wearing his Alice Cooper tour shirt. He got to see him in Dallas for his birthday a while back. That is awesome. And Luna says, I love Dream On the most. That song is classic. I love that song as well. I'm just going to close out my Spotify since it's possessed and it won't stop playing. Oh, Lizzie, you don't know Sugar We're Going Down? I think you probably would if you heard it. I think it's another one that if you hear it, you go, oh, yeah, I know that song because that was a pretty popular song. I would say it is Fall Out Boy's most popular song. And I would guess it's from the early 2000s, maybe. Let me look it up. Maybe late 1990 something. Let me see if I can spell Fall Out Boy. Sugar We're Going Down came out in 2005. So longer ago than I think it is, but not, excuse me, not that long ago. All right, Dustin's giving it a smash. Excellent. I like Fall Out Boy. They're another one of those bands that when they first came out, I was kind of like, hey, but they grew on me and now I like them a lot. I like them a lot. So thank you for playing this week's Smash or Trash. And since we've got 5 minutes left, I want to play Pick a Page. Thank you, Canva. I made that up real quick before the show started. So as our little graphic here says, you can pick a page between 1 and 306, and I will read an excerpt of it. Oh, Lizzie is right in there with 157. She was like, bam. And then Luna's is next. Okay. So 157. Hopefully I can see here. Okay. I don't know why that makes my OCD happy, but Monday is the day my brain believes new things should begin. I just started a new 90-day workout program this past Monday. I had a week between the last program I had finished and this one, so I tried out a different workout every day in between to keep myself in the habit of working out. It's a lot harder to start over than keep your momentum going. That is true. And full disclosure, I have not been working out like I usually do, mostly because of my stupid rotator cuff, which is still not better. I thought it was better. And then I stretched this morning when I woke up. Like, you know how when you're half asleep and you just like stretch and you don't think about it? Busted my shoulder doing that. And then I made it worse again, putting on my coat. I'm telling you, I am so sick of this, like, injuries that should not be injuries. I busted my thumb. I was leaving a Marco Polo for a friend of mine. I don't know if you guys know about the Marco Polo app. But anyway, I'm leaving a Marco Polo for her, and I just got out of the shower and, like, I was getting dressed. I grabbed the deodorant, and I go to spray it, and my thumb acted like I crushed it under a car tire. I was putting deodorant on. I'm really not that old. This is upsetting. Okay. 97. Here we go, Luna. There were times when, depending on the circumstances, I would be more sensitive. If I was overstressed or overtired, or if the hormones were parading in with a vengeance, I still got hurt. Overall, though, I took most of the negative energy in my stride and adopted an I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you mentality. That is definitely a good mentality to have in pretty much every situation, but definitely in this time where people seem to think bullying is acceptable and that they can just be mean for the case, for the sake of being mean. Just consider the source, put up your little shield and be like, pew, 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 is that the name of this chapter? I had a chapter named Pew Pew. Might have been this one. But I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but if you can, I'm rubber, you're glue them. I highly recommend it because it makes your sanity a lot better. It helps you. Excuse me, my goodness, my vodka and sparkling water made me burp. But it'll help you to keep your sanity intact because people can just be assholes, man. Thank you. Yeah, she said that's a great section. Thank you. And yeah, so I guess since I can't remember what else I was going to talk about tonight, hopefully it will hit me and I will remember it for next week. But I appreciate all of you for hopping on here. Happy birthday, Lizzie, again. I'm so excited that you joined me on your birthday. What are you doing for your birthday? Put it in the comments unless it's personal and you don't want to share. But if it's something shareable, please share with us so we can celebrate with you. And hopefully, God willing, we'll all be back here again next week and, can see what's going on with you guys. I'm always open to show ideas. So you can email me, Sydnee@learnedandgogo.com, or I knew she was going to say that. Lizzie said, me, I'm doing Mortimer with a good. Enjoy your birthday. But yeah, you can either email me at Sydnee@learnedandgogo.com or SydneeAuthor@gmail is a little bit more reliable than the Outlook. For some reason, Outlook's, I think it's just me and technology, man. Like, it might be my overload of energy. It's coming out and it's frying all the electronics around me. But I just love hanging out with you guys. And I appreciate so much that you take the time to hang out with me every Wednesday and chit chat and see what's going on in each other's worlds. And I love all of you. And thank you so much for supporting my book. Like I said, you can get it at learnedandgogo.com. And I hope you have a fantastic week. And remember, that when life comes at you, make sure you take it head on. Because when you stick your head in the sand, you think you're hiding, but the rest of the world just sees a big ass. Love ya.